All right, good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming. I say this, I think, every time, but this is really one of the more fun, kind of just exciting things I get to do on a monthly basis, where we recognize really a select few that are named by departments as Students of the Month. So what will happen here is, and I try not to screw this part up, but your student will come up with the teacher that is going to say some really nice things. They're going to get an award and a trophy. Then they will take a picture over here in the corner, and then at the end, all of them will get together up here, take one last picture. This is not something you need to rush through. They'll get back to class when they get back to class, so we're going to kind of have some fun this morning. So at the beginning, we're going to recognize a student from last month. So if Miss Sherman, where's Miss Sherman? Oh, maybe she's not here yet. Well, all right, we're going to do that at the end then. So from our CTE department, Miss Mammoth, come on down.
Hi, I'm Marcy Mammoth, and I am part of the Business Management and Finance Pathway Lead, and I am the Marketing Lead Teacher. And so this month, I want to recognize Paige. One thing I love about her is that she is extremely motivated to learn marketing. She just kind of thinks that way, which reminds me a lot of me when I was in school, because I just think that way. But last semester, she was our top salesman for Spirit Chains by a lot. And she also has a lot of inspiring moments. One thing I really love about Paige, besides the fact that she just intuitively gets it, is that when she works with someone else, she brings out the best in them. I don't know what it is, but when you work with somebody, they strive to do better or more than when they work with someone else. I think that she just naturally, because she gets it, helps them figure out what's going on, what's happening, and gets their ideas flowing. And the other thing I really, really love about Paige is that we're planning our capstone project, which is a big fashion show for prom and a big funny kind of talent show that's real but not real. And she's already going around telling people how epic it's going to be. Every year the classes kind of compete of who can make it better than the year before. And she's already telling people, you gotta come, it's going to be amazing. And so she's almost trying to manifest it. And as we work in class, I think that she's helping her classmates who are maybe a little less motivated to get on board. And then I heard her say one time, I've already told people it's gonna be epic, so come on. So I just love how she motivates others. I love how she takes what she already thinks about and is finding a way to turn it into maybe what she does forever. So I'm really happy to recognize her as Student of the Month.
All right. Next from our English department, Ms. Walford, come on down.
Okay, I'm Miss Walford. I was Bella's English teacher first semester. Bella really excelled in English class. She's self-reliant. As a freshman, she could really self-manage. She was very organized in class. And also on some Fridays, we would have a little fun Friday, and she was one of the biggest fans of Music Bingo, always asking, can we play Music Bingo? So I am giving this to Bella.
All right. Next up from the math department, Mr. Valenti, come on down. You want the award?
Sure. So I got to present this award to Olivia, and I'm really happy that she's honored today. She has all the qualities of a really good student. She's determined, she's dedicated, she's patient, she's always focused, she's driven in class, she works well with others, she's always asking questions when she's not sure of something, and she's present in class. She's not just there, but she is present and always trying to do her best. But what sets her apart is not the qualities of a student, it's her sense of peace and calm that surrounds Olivia in the classroom. being around her gives you this sense of calmness and peacefulness that sets her apart. And I didn't even realize it until I was writing this, that her seat is right next to my desk. And I think there's a reason for that, because I get that sense of peace and calm when I'm around her. And I'm almost like, that's why she's sitting right next to me all the time. I can't wait to see where your journey goes in Kent Island and beyond. You're going to be very successful no matter what you do. You have the qualities to be a super successful person, and I'm honored to give you this award.
All right, we'll go back to back with performing arts. First up, I'll shift based on Miss Wright's facial expression and go to Miss Sherman. Come on down.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. So just for a little bit of information, I actually chose Brynja as my January student of the month. She was my end of semester 1 student of the month that I chose, but she was not available last month, so she's presenting this month, or I'm presenting her this month. So she was in my piano class. It's Piano 1, so it's the introductory level of piano. And that class, if you don't know what it's like, can be very awkward at times because everybody's at different ability levels. And Brynja had had some experience with piano before, so she already had kind of a leg up coming into it. But she has always shown lots of leadership. She's been really great with helping out the other students when they didn't understand something. And it can also be very quiet in a Piano 1 class, especially during second period when everybody's still, waking up and everything. So she's the one to always answer my questions when no one else wants to. But I know that this won't be her last student of the month. It definitely wasn't her first. I believe she had something like this in middle school, right? I think you told me. So I'm sure this won't be her last one that she sees. She's going to go really far, and I hope she continues with music throughout the rest of her life because she really has a good gift for it. So my student of the month is Brynja Peterson.
All right, now once again from our performing arts department, Miss Wright.
Good morning. Good morning. It wasn't that I wasn't prepared. It's just that I like to have notes because I don't want to forget anything. But I can talk about Shane without my notes. So I first met Shane, I'll be quick, I promise. I first met Shane in the middle of the cafeteria when he was, I don't know, maybe it was junior year, sophomore year, whatever year it was. And his guidance counselor came up and she said to him, with me there, listen, Miss Wright is serious about dance. Are you going to be serious? He was like, yes, I'm serious. So, okay. So he left and I was thinking, okay, we'll see how this goes. Shane walks into the dance studio the very first day of dance class. My boy was locked in. He was ready. It didn't matter, and it still doesn't matter. Whatever I ask Shane to do, he is on it. He doesn't ask me a bunch of questions like why he has to do it, what's gonna happen next. He's just like, what is it? And he does it. And I so appreciate him for that. Also, I depend on Shane to be a leader and my demonstrator. For example, yesterday, I was like, look everybody, this is what you should do. And I was telling them what they should do. But then I looked at Shane and I'm like, oh wait, can you just show them what they're supposed to do? It was something that I was way too old to do and way too afraid to do. So he was like, I got you. And here he went right on the floor. It was fantastic. So again, Shane is just a pleasure to have in class. And I said I was going to tell this story without crying, and I think I can do it. I think I can. So last semester I got some sad news right before the beginning of his class. And I was in my office and I was crying. And the students were in the studio with a substitute because they had sent a substitute down because they knew I'd be upset. So I got myself together in my office. I was like, okay, I can do this, I'm ready. I walk out, and who's the first person there? Like this, arms wide open. I fall into this young man's arms and I'm just falling. Tears flying, snots flying. And what does he say? It's all right, Miss Wright. It's all right. And he had rallied the whole class around us, around him. He was hugging me. They were hugging him. The substitutes there fanning my face. I mean, it was just, wasn't it? It was just one big thing. And you know, and at that moment, it wasn't me caring for him. It was him caring for me. And I really do appreciate everything you do for me. Thank you.
Normally I save Miss Wright for last because no one wants to follow her, but lucky Mr. Schulte from PE and Health, come on down. I'm just going by the list.
Thanks for nothing. No, I'm kidding. My name is Brendan Schulte. I'm one of the PE teachers here at Fitness for Life. I first met Julia back in late August. She's in my year-long Fitness for Life class. And in a classroom where it's only, there's 26 kids and it's only about a 40-minute class because it's year-long, it's hard to kind of get everybody up and at them all the time. Well, not Julia. She was up and at them immediately, and it's continued from August until now. In fact, in a time where a lot of kids are looking for the tiniest little excuse to get out of class, Julia is constantly looking for a way to get involved further in class. If it was her feet or her knees or something was bothering her where other students would be like, I can't today, Julia's asking for, well, what can I do differently that still gets me up and gets me out? She's a model student. She's a wonderful role model for her peers. I'm very excited to have her in class and hope to see her again in the future. But Julia, congratulations.
All right, next up from our science department, Ms. DiDomenico, come on down.
I am Mrs. DiDomenico, one of our chemistry teachers from the science department, and this month I chose Michaela Harding, and that took me a second because I continually call her her sister's name, and she's very forgiving for that. Michaela Harding as our student of the month. So I have a lot of really good students this semester, having the honors level kids. And I wanted to pick a kid from this semester, and looking back on the very first week of school, Michaela was one of the students that consistently stood out to me. She came in the classroom very eager to learn, very eager to be engaged, very eager to do pretty much everything the right way based on how I was asking them to do things. Not only that, but even within the first week of school, you could tell she was very comfortable with her peers. She was willing to get up and help her peers, and still to this day gets up and helps her peers, explains things to them. She's not giving them answers, she's actually teaching them. And the other day I kind of put her on the spot because she came in and asked me a question. I explained it to her and I said, okay, Michaela, here's your test. Tell the class, because somebody else just a few minutes later asked the same question. I said, Michaela, can you tell them what we talked about? And verbatim, she could tell them exactly what I had told her, and she's just very prepared. And her notebook in my class is meticulous. It's awesome. So she's very organized, she's very dedicated, and wants to do well. And right now, she's killing it in chemistry, so I'm very proud of her for that. Let's see. And the other thing is, even if she has something going on, I know recently she had some things going on personally, she comes into class with a smile on her face, and she always has like a positive spin to everything. So she's like, it's going to be okay, it's going to be great, today's a great day. And we talk about her brisk long walks that she gets to refresh from first period from the pool. So I just love that her personality, her attitude, and her uplifting spirit as she comes into the classroom. So Michaela, your motivation and success, commitment to success is not only noticed, but today we're going to celebrate that. And keep up the outstanding work, because you're going to go far, my kid.
All right, next up from our social studies department, Ms. Capadia.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ms. Kapadia. I teach both world history and the AP economics classes here at the high school. And Kaylin, I've had the privilege of teaching not once, not twice, but now 3 times. It's kind of the layout of the way classes go, but I'll take it as a compliment that she wants to spend this much time with me. You know, Kaylin, when I first met her, was part of a large class, and although I knew her, it wasn't exceptional. And then last semester, I had her for AP macroeconomics, and it was a much smaller class. So a little more downtime to be able to talk, a little more like, let's get in depth with this. And Kaylin is one of these students that has mastered something about education that I think other students really struggle with. And that's the fact that you're not going to go into a class and you're not going to understand everything immediately, but she takes it with stride. Like, this is a very difficult concept and I need to hear it again and I need to hear it again, and she'll continue to hear it and she'll do the work at home, listen to videos, ask for additional practice problems just so she can struggle through it to totally understand the concept, not just be able to pass a test. And so Kaylin, she exhibits all these wonderful qualities like persevering through education. She's incredibly personable. You know, she looks at my classroom and she's like, Ms. Kapadia, that plant is dying. Can I take care of that for you? And I'm like, yes, please. I'm not the best. That's great. She asks about my kids. You know, she's just one of the most friendly, most admirable students that I have. And I have a lot of amazing students. So this was a difficult, you know, decision this semester, but I am grateful to have spent the time with Kaylin that I have, and I know she's just going to go so far in life. So congratulations to you. Yeah.
All right, next up from World Language, Mr. Dallas.
Thank you, sir. Hola, buenos días. Me llamo Señora Dallas y esta es Armonía. This is Harmony Garner, and she was one of my students last semester in Spanish 1. I will let you know that each one of my students gets a Spanish name when they come into my class. It's one of the fun things that we do. And in order to do that, we set up a list of names, and they get to choose one from the list of names. Well, Harmony, from day 1, came into class and looked at the list of names and said, no, that's not going to happen, and chose her name in Spanish instead. Said, I want to be Armonía. And I said, well, look at the list of names. It's nice. Like, you got a bunch of Spanish names there. I didn't want to have to remember another one, honestly. She said, no, I'm going to be Armonía. I was like, okay, that's good. And from that day forward, I knew this girl was going to be a self-advocating, confident young woman. And that has shown in everything that she's done, in her grades, in sports, in all of her classes that she's had with her friends, and being that she's taking care of siblings and pets at home. I think every day you came in and complained about your pit bull. Did you ever get rid of that puppy? No. Okay, you still have it. That's good. She's very self-aware. She knows what she wants out of life, and she goes for it. And do you still have straight A's? And you're still playing sports, and you still have the pit bull, okay? And you still obviously have your little siblings, but this girl, it's like, she came into high school, she's a freshman, she came into high school knowing what she wanted, and threw herself right into high school, and is just knocking it out of the park. She is just a one-of-a-kind student. She's responsible, and can I tell them about you yelling at other people in class? Okay. She's not only responsible for herself, but for the people that surround her in class. And yes, she did yell at them to get their act in order, but I much appreciate it. That's what made her stand out in my class. Thank you. Armonía. You will forever be Armonía for me. Thank you very much. You are awesome. You're welcome.
All right, and last but certainly not least, Miss Loveday, if you'll come on down, please.
right, good morning. This is Clever. Clever, I have the pleasure of teaching I'm a special education PACS teacher, and I have the pleasure of having my kids for 6 years. And he is amazing. This is his second time as Student of the Month. He was Student of the Month in 9th grade, and now he is an 11th grader. He always advocates for himself and others. He's very helpful in the classroom. He is always checking in on me personally to make sure that I'm doing okay. And he always speaks up for his friends. Not only that, but he perseveres. This young man is from a Spanish-speaking background, so English is his second language, but he's always willing and able to read and understand and learn without a calculator, which is amazing for our classroom. So I'm very proud of you, Clever. Congratulations.
All right, so thank you again this morning for coming out. Nice short ceremony, but we got to recognize a very select few as we do once a month, and truly you all stand out, both families and students, as amazing students of the month. So thank you for what you do here at Kent Island High School. If you haven't gotten a donut or a coffee or hot chocolate, please do so, and return to class when you can.
We're going to take